Shut up and sit down.
My God, you lot are a sad bunch. Wait for me to say the lines before you boo me. Come on, guys. It's time for all you pathetic excuse for humans to shut up and sit down because I am talking. Firstly, tonight's main event will be the final entry into the Elimination Chamber match decided. And it will be 4 wildcard picks of my own choosing based on their recent performances entering the match. As for the next mayhem, all 6 of the entries will be in a battle royal to determine the order of which they will enter the match. Best of luck to everybody in that match. But now, something else I need to address. It was brought to my attention that Jaden has been running away from SDC's challenge 2 weeks ago. Now, he was in his rights to decline the match, but I will not have my show be filled with a bunch of cowards, especially when that coward is supposed to be a 2-time world champion. So this match will now happen. At Lockdown, Jaden will face SDC in a Hell in a Cell match. And Jaden, if you do not appear at this pay-per-view, or if you do not turn up for tonight and the go-home show, I will fire you on the spot. That's all from me. Oh, and if anyone sees King Sam, because I haven't, so if anyone sees King Sam, tell him I said hi.
Shut up and sit down.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Darren Jacobs. I am in an incredible amount of pain with this throat that I currently have, but we're going to power through this anyway, and welcome back to another episode of Monday Night Mayhem here. We are very, very close to what is scheduled to be a very big pay-per-view indeed in the form of Lockdown, and the first team down to the ring tonight is the League of Gods. Now, the League of Gods found out last week via the general manager that they will be competing for the Mayhem Tag Team Championships against the Linebacks inside a steel cage tag team matchup. It's going to be one hell of a contest with no Coach Wilson there as well. These two thoroughly believe they can walk out the winner, and that is why tonight, to give themselves a warm-up, they are issuing an open challenge. Greek style, of course, as it is the Dharmas way. And these two rising stars in the company getting ready for their first tag team title opportunity at Lockdown as they issue the open challenge. But the question is, which team is ready to answer the call? Oh, and would you look at this? Ready to answer the call. We haven't seen these two in a while. They haven't quite been at 100% since making their returns to the tag team division. But it does look like these two are ready to go here tonight. Austin Creed and El Murpho back in action as Up, Up, Down, Down, the former Mayhem Tag Team Champions, lined up and ready to go. What a match this is going to be. Two really popular fan favorite teams going at it to kick off Monday Night Mayhem. And these two teams are going to give it their all as well. Of course, Up, Up, Down, Down would love to get themselves back in the title picture if they could find a way to do so. But of course, hasn't been easy pickings from them after getting injured in a title rematch by the Linebacks. Things took a downward spiral. They both picked up some minor injuries, turned into major injuries, and that definitely has slowed the progress down for them quite a bit. However, these two fully ready to bounce back and start picking up some tag team victories yet again if they can. But let's see how they do here tonight against the new #1 contenders for the tag team titles. And you got to imagine Xander and Green will be watching on from the backstage area. And look at this, Damas straight out the gate with a snap suplex. Doesn't want to waste any time here to go for the big ones. And Damas and Black Jesus, it's been quite a good couple of months for them as of late, keeping up with the tag team champions. Just missed out on the tag team tournament final as they lost to the Cottrells, who we haven't seen on TV for quite some time either, to be honest. They've been a little bit quiet. As for Damas and Black Jesus, they've been working very well together, picking up some big wins. And they've even got the champions really on ice. Of course, the last time out they faced the Linebacks, and to be honest, they embarrassed them. And now, because of that, the Linebacks will have to defend the Mayhem Tag Team Championships against Damas and Black Jesus. And speaking of Damas, went for that elbow drop from the middle rope, couldn't quite connect, and El Murphy just sidesteps. And as for these two, of course, they've still been promoting their new fragrance, which is Damas, the new fragrance by Damas, becoming a fan favorite product. Everybody seems to love that merchandise. One of the best pieces of WIW merchandise in the business right now. And Damas and Black Jesus, the sky is the limit for these two as a team, and of course as business partners as well, as it seems to be. Of course, Black Jesus is a model very much for the advert, a campaign that I'm sure you've seen the adverts at some point by now. And the tag in comes Austin Creed for the first time in this match. And he's been the real main problem here for injury. He's been in and out of health, and hasn't really been able to keep up. And of course, it doesn't really bother El Murphy so much because he can compete for that Cruiserweight title. Both of them are actually eligible for the Cruiserweight title. They both reached the weight limit, and I'm sure we'll be seeing them compete for it soon enough. But trying to primarily focus on capturing their old tag team form, and Damas tags out off the DDT, and back in comes Black Jesus. Doesn't get quite the connection there on the clothesline, but the shoulder tackle definitely does the job. But Creed just shakes it off, shrugs the clothesline, but then gets hit with a suplex toss instead. And Damas and Black Jesus on a roll here at the start. They are not wasting any time here to settle into the offense here. But Creed now trying to fight back, but look at the strength of Black Jesus. And that's where his advantage comes in, pure strength and power. Of course, if he hits that spinning powerbomb, we may be looking at the end. It could have probably been as well for Kazarian Xander and Patrick Green if it had not been for Coach Wilson, who had to save the team about 30, 40 times in their last matchup, which is what sparked the general manager to put this tag team title match in place at Lockdown. And it's going to be a big, big matchup at Lockdown. This could be the first taste of gold for both Black Jesus and for Damas in their entire careers. It could be big time. Of course, Black Jesus, quite an established veteran, of course, was here for the WYW, and now look at this, and what a beautiful submission hold being applied here on El Murphy, but El Murphy quickly finds a way to stop the wrenching and escapes. And the up, down, down team, we know what they are capable of. We know they're capable of big things. Northern Lights into the cover. He bridges off of it, gets a 2 count early. We know they're capable of success. Of course, former tag team champions didn't exactly have a long reign, as they did lose their lose the tag team rematch by the Linebacks, and that is exactly how they became 2-time tag team champions. Only a month title reign for El Murphy and Austin Creed, but it's enough to get the point across that these two mean serious business. And for Damas and Black Jesus, if they can knock off former tag team champions, you've got to imagine that's going to give them good momentum coming in to Lockdown. But of course, we are 2 Mayhems and 2 fight nights away from what is going to be a fantastic, jam-packed show. One of the biggest shows in history today. And now look at this. Looking for a DDT here. Impaler DDT there into Damas. And now Damas is in trouble as the cover comes in. Is that going to be enough from El Murphy? No, it's not. Damas kicks out at 2. And Creed, he wants back in this match. He wants to get involved. Murphy not given the opportunity to tag. But Damas, he might need to tag as well. The crowd loving this match. 2 fan favorite teams really going for it here. Oh, wait a minute. Look at this. Damas and Black Jesus. Heat bomb Heat bomb! That came from out of nowhere, and straight into the cover. Is that going to be enough to put away El Murpho? No, it's not. It's a 1 count, and he tried to go for the cover again, but Creed was once again there to break it up. And Black Jesus, feeling confident all of a sudden after they started to fall onto the back foot there for a brief second as El Murpho grinds him down with a Lufez press. And they may be the tag team champions, and this may former tag team champions, and this may be an open challenge, but they are not backing down for a second here. They thoroughly believe they can walk out the winners of this match. Or went for a big strike, misses, and instead gets caught by Black Jesus. Oh, and a beautiful gut-wrench suplex. And Black Jesus might have to carry this one for a bit because his teammate is down, and there's the spinning back fist. Taking him off his feet, but El Murpho refusing to give in, went for a strike of his own, couldn't connect, and now to the corner. Creed is down. This could be the opportunity for the League of Gods to pull away in this match and wrap up the win. Heat bomb again. Greek bomb into the cover. The referee a little slow to count. Creed might have the space to get in, and the referee's hesitancy on it. And again, look at this. Black Jesus just trying to keep him away, and he's still only going to get 2 count. Oh, and did you see that? Froze onto El Murpho, his tag team partner. And to be honest, that should have probably been a 3 count. The referee took so long to count off the Greek bomb, and yet just didn't quite get the cover because of it. Dormus, the new fragrance by Dormus. And of course, Black Jesus is down for the moment, so El Murpho and Creed have the advantage here if they can take it. Oh, and look at that. There's the big kick to the gut and a big shin to the face. That's going to do some damage. And now look at this. Using that cruiserweight ability of his, but Dormus does well to sidestep it. Oh, and now Dormus looking for the big one. Looking to wrap this one up. Looking for greetings from Greece. He's got Creed on the shoulders. Greetings from Greece. And straight into the cover. His partner's down. Is he going to be able to get the cover before El Murpho could get it? No, it's 2.5. El Murpho makes the save. And what would have been the match-ending move there, the greetings from Greece, it connects perfectly. But unfortunately for him, just doesn't get the job done as Jesus is down and couldn't stop Murpho from coming in. Creed trying to make a tag out there, couldn't do it. Now Dormus takes him back to the League of Gods corner. Tag made, and in comes Jesus. And now what are these two thinking? And now, look at this, showing off for the crowd in typical League of Gods fashion. Up on the shoulders. Oh, taking him down beautifully. Oh, and now trying to crawl away and make the tag, but Jesus saw it coming. Spinning back fist. The power of Black Jesus compels you into the cover. Is that going to be enough to put away the team of Murpho and Creed? It's only a 2. And they really are giving it their all, both of these teams. What a fantastic way to start off tonight's show. And we've only got more fantastic matches to come as the night goes on. Oh, look at this. Look at this. What's he thinking here? Look at the strength of Black Jesus. Oh, and driving him down on the shoulder. And straight into the cover off of it. I've never seen that one from Jesus before. Is that going to be enough to put away Creed? Oh, it's only a 2.5. And Murpho a little hesitant to get out there. I guess he knew that he was going to be able to get it. Oh, and sending a warning shot there was Jesus. Didn't quite connect with it. Now to his corner. Dormus doesn't look quite ready to make a tag. And now going to crash into the opposite corner. A bit risky here, and the risk doesn't pay off as Creed takes him down with a Uranagi. And into the cover to steal the match. It's a 2 count. And a close, intense tag team contest to start us off. Neither side giving an edge here. And now look at this. Oh, and a big shot to the gut. And Dormus and Black Jesus coming very close to wrapping this one up. But Creed and Murpho just refusing to give in. Big DDT with the leg sweep. And now Creed looking for Lost in the Woods. All of a sudden, the League of Gods on the back foot here. In trouble here. Rolls up. Oh, and connects with it as well. Lost in the Woods. And now might be setting him up maybe for another Unicorn Stampede, maybe for Midnight Hour. So many different moves that these two have to offer. They're setting it up though. Damas can only sit and watch. Midnight Hour. Midnight Hour. Straight into the cover. Is Damas going to be able to get there and stop it? Yes, he is. Damas breaks up the cover at the count of 2 and is tossed out of the ring by Austin Creed. They survive for the moment. Damas, though, trying to fight back if he can, showing the strength here just to lift him up and toss him across the ring. Damas and Black Jesus survive. But for how much longer in this match? Tag in comes Damas. What does Damas have to bring to the table right now? Oh, just beating him down in the back. Oh, and some press-ups as well, mocking the tag team champion, or the former tag team champion, should I say. Trying to send a message here. That's the ultimate goal for the League of Gods, to say they're ready for the tag team titles, and come lockdown, they're ready to walk out the 3rd tag team champions in tag team history here on Monday Night Mayhem. And of course, the other team to hold those titles are stepping in the ring with them as we speak. And now look at this. Damas has him up on the shoulders. Aeroplane spin. Taking all kinds of orientation out of him there and just scoops him down. And now dragged to the middle of the ring. Damas might be looking to line up for that elbow drop. Vicious drop right to the heart. Dances for the crowd and follows through with that elbow drop. And that could easily be enough. Creed decided not to come and make the rescue. And his decision paid off. It's a 2.5 count. And Murpho trying to find some life back in here, but he is taking some huge hits. And that elbow drop definitely did not help his case. Or went for the belly to belly. Well defended there by Murpho, who wants to tag out and does. And that's definitely the best option. Creed probably the best person to keep in the match right now. 4 up, up, down, down. And what a huge victory this would be if they were to knock off the #1 contenders. And of course, I'm sure these two would love to have another crack at capturing the tag team titles. But Creed, oh look at this, trying to get Damas up on the shoulders, but well countered with an inverted DDT. And Damas now, just trying to wrench away at the head, wearing him down with that handstand as well for style in typical Damas fashion. And now picking him up. Doesn't want to waste any more time. The League of Gods have put up one hell of a fight here, and you feel they're close to wrapping this one up. Surely, sooner or later, these two can get the job done. Oh, we've seen this move once already in the match. It did put away a match a matter of 2 weeks ago. It might not get the job done here as Creed desperately tried to make the tag, excuse me. And he pops up out of it. Oh, look at this, try to get a kick there to the back as well as a little bit of a cheap shot, couldn't quite get it. And now Creed lining up for Lost in the Woods again. He's low on stamina, he's definitely hurt, but he is trying his best to keep his team in this match, and he's met with Lost in the Woods again. Creed could be setting up for the beginning of the end here. To the corner, oh well, escape there by Damas, but needs to take advantage of it. Hit with a massive chop, only to be sent straight back into the corner. Tag is made again. Back in comes El Murpho. Woods just getting out of there. Oh, and a double flapjack. What an amazing tag team encounter. Oh, look at that. Damas capturing the attention of El Murpho there. And El Murpho looking to follow through with another spiking DDT. Went from the Impaler to an ordinary spiker, but those spikers do the most damage as we've seen throughout WIW. And now the tag is made. Looking for Midnight Hour once again. This could be the end of the League of Gods. Midnight Hour. And straight into the cover. Damas, is he going to be able to get there? It looks like Murphy's going to be able to stop him. No, but he kicks out at 2.5 anyway. Kicks out at 2.5. Damas rolls out of trouble. And now Woods looking to wrap him up with a Shining Wizard. Well escaped by Damas. By Black Jesus. Oh, and a beautiful military press. And I tell you what, I thought that was the end of the League of Gods, but they found a way to keep themselves alive in this matchup. Woods with the advantage here because his partner still stands, whereas Black Jesus is still by himself for the moment. But now he has him trapped in the corner. Oh, look at this. What's he thinking? Gets him up on the shoulders. Oh, and there's a stun off the ropes. Oh, and now lining him up. Look at this. Black Jesus spinning powerbomb. Spinning powerbomb. And the referee's so slow to make the count. Thomas trying to stop El Murpho, but he just manages to get the contact. And it's a 2 count again. And the spinning powerbomb would have got the job done, but well saved indeed by El Murpho, but only just, who rolls out the ring. Now Creed left by the League of Gods. Damas nearly made an amazing recovery there just to spring up to his feet and try and save the match. And now Damas and Jesus left alone with Creed. Creed probably the freshest man to the ford all of a sudden, but he has taken some big hits as well. And now to the corner. This is where he wants him. Oh, try to tag Damas back in, but Damas couldn't get there. And stopped by El Murpho, Austin Creed, excuse me. And this has been a long and well-fought tag team encounter to start the night off. And still, we don't have an answer to who's going to walk out the winner. There's a spinning back fist, though. And that could be the start of the end here. Looking for another suplex and just bounces him off the ropes there. And you can see the discomfort that the League of Gods are in. Murpho is back to his feet. And that could be costly, because if they do try to put this away, maybe with a spinning powerbomb, maybe with the greetings from Greece, maybe with a Greek bomb, it could be the end for this match and their chances of walking out the winner. And now look at this, a powerbomb. And now looking for another one, this time the spinner to do the ultimate damage. Is Damas going to be there to stop El Murpho, though, from breaking up the cover? Spinning powerbomb again, and straight into the cover. Damas springs into action. The League of Gods walk out the winners. Huge, huge tag team victory for the League of Gods. They beat the former tag team champions in emphatic fashion there. What a hell of a match. These two had to give it their all to walk out the winners in this one. But Damas and Black Jesus finally get the job done and win another Greek-style Open Challenge. Well, they really are the team to beat in the Mayhem Tag Division right now. They're really stringing together the wins, and they are barreling down the guns of the linebacks, ready to take their titles away from them. The question is, when that steel cage is lowered on Sunday and lockdown hits, who will be able to land the final touch and walk out with the Mayhem Tag Team Championships? We'll have to find out, but another successful victory for the League of Gods. Let's move on down the rest of the card. What's up, party people? Hope you're enjoying the show, but we do have some business to deal with. As you've seen, someone by the name of Jake Griffiths has been going around and taking out all of the cruiserweights that he sees as a threat to his championship. Well, Jake, I have a message for you. If you want to take out the biggest threat to your title, then come out here and try, because he is standing right here ready to kick your ass and take your title. I challenge you to a match at Lockdown. You are a brave man. I can admire that, but you are stupid. You've seen the destruction I have single-handedly caused as champion. So what makes you think you even stand a chance? I warned everyone when I became champion the year of the Burrow would begin, and when it did, there would be no prisoners. And I am a man of my word. But I am also a man who doesn't back down from anyone. So I accept, on the grounds that the match is a steel cage match. And if you're as great as you claim, that shouldn't scare you. See, I accept, but I want to add a condition of my own. So that I know that you don't plan to run away from me. If anyone escapes the cage, they do not win. The match will end with a 1, 2, 3 inside that ring. You say you take no prisoners? But what will you do when you're locked in the cage and you've got nowhere to run? No blindsiding people, no cheap shots. It'll just be you and me. And when that happens, you won't have a chance of holding that title anymore. I guarantee you. You're on. You have no idea what you just signed up for. I'm going to use you as an example. You will learn not to mess with the Burrow. And when the bunny hop knocks you out cold and I walk out the champion, you'll go back to being that useless rookie who opens the show every single night because he can't really hold his own weight. I will see you at Lockdown. Well, with another match added to the Lockdown pay-per-view, it looks like this is going to be one of the biggest pay-per-views we've had in quite some time. I'm really looking forward to Lockdown, but we need to get there first. And the first man who's also must be looking forward to Lockdown is this man. The 5th man, I believe, to qualify for the Elimination Chamber, and his name is Alan Hart. The All Hart has risen to the very highest of highs as of late, of course, being a part of the Survivor Series team, the Survivor Series match for Team Mayhem. They had to fight very hard in that match, and of course they didn't quite come out with the victory on that occasion, but Alan Hart really has shown himself as of late what he is capable of. Tonight, he's going to have to take another step up because he's going up against the real deal, Stephen Miller, following up his big loss to Brad Skeens just a few weeks ago. But then again, he did team with him following that, and they worked well together and picked up the win last week's main event. But tonight, Alan Hart with a chance to show himself and to show he really does belong in this Elimination Chamber match. And of course, he has proved that as of late, but someone else who's proved it since the moment he stepped foot into this company is this man right here, the real deal, Stephen Miller, who is ready to come down here and make a huge statement here tonight. Of course, losing to Brad Skeens 2 shows ago, but then managing to recover that and pull off the big victory in tag team action against Aaron Albright and Original Brad. These two have worked very, very well together, and we've got 1 more week, 2 more Mayhems before Lockdown, and these two will collide here tonight. A tough contest. Not sure if these two have ever faced before, but the real deal has made it clear in the past, and he'll make it clear here tonight. He's not scared of any opponent, and these two, of course, will face each other in the chamber, as well as Brad Skeens, Original Brad, and Aaron Albright. And the final man for the Elimination Chamber will be crowned in tonight's main event. And look at that, what a start straight out the gate here from Alan Hart, who's wearing down the arm. Very nice sequence of moves there from Alan Hart. But Stephen Miller, as we know, a tough cookie to crack, very hard to take down. Skeens found a way to do it, but he's one of a very few number of men to actually keep him down. And of course, I believe only with like a total of 3 losses, but only in 2 of those was he actually pinned. One being the European Championship match, and the other being that match against Brad Skeens. He's really got going here. Stephen Miller, and he said from the moment that he stepped into this company that he would be a big star, the man from Thailand. He knew that he would be able to just rise up the ranks, and he's proven it. He hasn't quite gotten himself some title gold as of yet, but he is in hunt of it. And Alan Hart, of course, was deprived of an opportunity for some automatic gold after losing at Mind Games for Team Mayhem. But in both matches, he was definitely Mayhem's MVP. Of course, that match against Team SDC picked up 2 eliminations. And at the pay-per-view, the Mind Games pay-per-view against Team Mayhem, against Team Fight Night, excuse me, also managed to pick himself up in elimination. He's definitely proved himself as of late, but now he needs to prove that it isn't just a tag team thing. Or maybe it is. Maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe he could find himself a partner and go looking for tag team gold. But tonight he's looking to push for the Tonight he's beginning his search to the top and looking for a shot at the WIW Championship. Remember, these two will both be a part of the Lockdown Elimination Chamber match in what will be the co-main event for both the chamber matches. But this one is definitely looking more and more heated than the opposite one. Of course, still a lot of people to crown on the Mayhem brand. So far, we know Peter Bolton will join Max Danger and JW Cashman inside that match. And I believe one more person was actually crowned. It's not coming to mind right now. But the submission hold being applied from Alan Hart. We know he's very good with that submission and already starting to work down on the legs here of Stephen Miller, who's looking to take advantage of him while he's kneeling and takes him down. Very nicely done. And Steve Miller trying to get the ball rolling for himself here after not a very good start from his standards, but he has kept control. And now looking to fly. Oh, went for the knee across the jaw, couldn't connect. And we've got one hell of the card lined up for this pay-per-view. So many amazing, intense matches. Majority title matches, but that doesn't mean we don't have our fair share of non-title matches as well, including the big one, which will be Jaden versus SDC in a Hell in a Cell match. What a contest that is scheduled to be. That's probably one of the matches I'm looking forward to the most outside of the Elimination Chambers. And of course, as the general manager mentioned on the last episode of Mayhem before the pay-per-view, we will be having a 6-man battle royal to determine the order of the Elimination Chamber entries, and everybody's going to want to walk out the winner of that because they will be coming in last into the chamber if they do that. And remember, this match is important for everyone. You got to imagine the stakes are even higher for Aaron Albright because the general manager has made it clear that big punishments are to come if he cannot defend the title at the Elimination Chamber, and a new world champion is crowned. Went for an elbow drop, couldn't quite connect, he misses. And Alan Hart, once again, going straight back to the submission. Stick with what you know. And of course, Stephen Miller becoming more and more familiar with the Dragon Sleeper that he's developed as of late with the submission game. But right now, Alan Hart just trying to wear and tear this match down if he can to Stephen Miller. And that might be the strategy because Steve Miller, he can take the big hit. We've seen him in the past take huge shots, end on end, and yet still walk out fighting. And now look at this, what's he thinking here? Oh, what a beautiful move there from the Cruiserweight Stephen Miller. Of course, could you imagine him contending for the Cruiserweight Championship at some point? What a match that would be. Looking for the flip over DDT. Well escaped there by Alan Hart. Hart says no. And what a contest this has been. And this is what I'm saying. A couple of weeks ago, Alan Hart was, to be honest, he was a no-name in the company. He started off slow. He wasn't really getting much momentum. Then all of a sudden, this rivalry that he entered to with James Rowley that went on for a span of 2 months really, really lifted him. Although he walked out the loser of that rivalry, it really has shown what he is capable of as of late. And of course, the mind games that came about as a result of James Rowley. And James Rowley inadvertently has lifted this man to new heights. He really has pushed him, and that's what good rivals do. Great rivalries are the ones that have a lasting effect on the other and has left the other better off. And of course, James Rowley will be trying to cash in on the Cruiserweight Championship as he's challenged Jake Griffiths, the man who is the new Cruiserweight Champion, who is trying to wear everybody down in the Cruiserweight division so he doesn't really have to defend it. but James Rowley refusing to let him have it that easy. Now Hart escaping that submission hold here. What a match this has been. This has been a truly fantastic contest. Both men giving it their all here and just trying to score the cover if they can. And now look at this. Looking for the tie driver. This could be the end here. If Stephen Miller can connect with this. Gets him up. Looking for the tie driver. Connects with the tie driver. And into the cover goes Stephen Miller. Is that going to be enough to put away Alan Hart? Yes, it is. Steve Miller with a big victory. Well, you got to credit Alan Hart. He gave him one hell of a contest. But we could have all imagined that Steve Miller was walking out of the winner of that match. Steve Miller, the real deal, continues. Goes back to winning ways and has no intention of slowing down. That is for sure. Stephen Miller must be a real threat to Aaron Albright, because the WIW Championship is knocking on his door. But the question is, can Stephen Miller build off this win and take the title from him at the Chamber? But look at this! Speaking of Albright, Albright coming to leave a mark here. Not going to let him just walk away with this victory here tonight. Albright! You can sense the worry on Albright's face. He knows that he has to do this, try and get as much of an edge as possible, because he knows this is going to be the hardest defense of his existence as the WIW champion. But it's a match that he has to win, and so he sends a warning here tonight. And the WIW champion picks up another knockout as Stephen Miller hits face first onto the canvas. Well, this Elimination Chamber is getting heated, but who will walk out the winner at Lockdown? We'll have to find out then. Well, we do need to move on now the rest of the card. Big win regardless for Stephen Miller here tonight. Next up tonight, we will see one hell of a contest. And the first man down to the ring is probably a very frustrated SDC. And if you haven't been following until this point, SDC and Jaden have been battling back and forth. And by the count of SDC, at least, they are tied. They both have a win and a pinfall over each other. But Jaden is insistent that he has won more than he has lost. But SDC refuses to believe that. And of course, he is correct, because he didn't lose to him in that 4v4 matchup. He was only pinned, but this rivalry has to come to an end, and the general manager agrees with SDC that this match needs to happen at Lockdown inside the Hell in a Cell match. And the general manager has made it clear, despite the fact that Jaden has been running away as of late, hasn't even been turning up to the show, this match will happen, and if he does not make an appearance at Lockdown, he will be fired. So his job is on the line. He doesn't have to win the match, but he has to turn up. He can't run away from SDC's challenge, as it is now officially set that the Hell in a Cell match will happen inside Lockdown. And when these two are locked down in the ring with each other, who will finally get the upper hand of each other? Well, this match is going to be one hell of a task for him, and SDC, hopefully he's prepared for it. But apparently, he's going to quickly grab a microphone because he has some things to say to his challenger at Lockdown. The hero of wrestling wishes to address this pathetic behavior from Jaden. Running away, hiding, not showing up to compete, pathetic. If you are so sure that you're better than me, then why do you need to hide? Well, I hope you heard the GM, because at Lockdown, you're mine. And when I have you in that cell, I will use you as my message to everyone. My win will be a thing. My title hunt will be a thing. And the hero of wrestling will be a thing. Well, some big words there for Jaden. For Jaden at the Chamber. And Jaden hopefully has got the message. But tonight he can't worry too much about Jaden, because he has got one hell of a task ahead of him. It's another one of the members who will be participating at the Elimination Chamber. The general manager was ready to give him the night off, but he was ready to get back in the ring and further prove his point and put his stamp here down on WIW as one of the fastest rising stars in the company. It is Brad Skeens, who has risen to the top of the ranks, of course, his first European Championship stint, lasting 2 months, only successfully defending against Mason Foster. But unfortunately for him, he was put into the impossible task of defending against 6 top talents in the European Championship match, of course, where he lost to Jax Wolf following it. And Jax Wolf will be defending the European Championship to Mason Foster at Lockdown as well. And a big match for this man, of course, being part of the Elimination Chamber for the WIW Championship in what's going to be one hell of a contest. The general manager has made it clear he wants someone to lead this company, to lead this brand, to be the face, kind of like what Sam was, as much as he hates to admit it. WIW needs a face, it needs a strong leader, a strong champion, and Brad Skeens and his following believe that he can be that person, he can do that. But tonight, the self-proclaimed hero of wrestling takes him on, and he believes, of course, he deserves some title opportunities later down the line as well, SDC. But tonight, he's going to have to prove him against one of the men inside the Elimination Chamber, and we start off with a flapjack here. And SDC and Jaden, of course, their last match was quite a good one. To be fair, every match these two have had has been absolutely brilliant from start to finish. They really are a good match for each other, and they really bring the most out of each other. But at the end of the day, it was Jaden who picked up the last victory. SDC with the first victory of the two. And of course, that was a big momentum swing for him, and it allowed him to go on and capture the captaincy, which recruited Jaden, actually. Of course, Jaden was recruited to be on Team Mayhem by SDC, who didn't have to do that because he beat him in the ring, and he proved to him that he could lead the team. But he gave Jaden the opportunity to get in, and then from there, Jaden weaseled his way into becoming the team captain. That's exactly what he does. He's too smart, he's too intelligent, and he plays the mind games constantly. But now, these last couple of weeks has been on retreat. He hasn't been turning up to the shows, he hasn't been contacting anyone. SDC has him on the ropes. He does not want to be in this match at Lockdown, in what will be one of, I believe, a very few, if not the only, non-title match scheduled for Lockdown. But it is going to be one hell of a contest. That is indeed going to be true. But the question is Jaden actually going to turn up and step up to the task? We know that Jaden doesn't want to be a part of this match. We know that Jaden believes he's already won the war, so why go one more time to try and prove something that he believes has already been proven? But for SDC, who's trying to prove here tonight, he can topple the big dogs in the company, and he can rise to the top. Tonight, he's trying to do just that. And now look at this, looking for a powerbomb here. Oh, what power! The connection on that one as well, very clean indeed. And SDC trying to get into this match after a little bit of a slow start there, as Skeens kind of got rolling. And now an armbar here. Just trying to wear him down here. Maybe trying to score a submission if he can. But look at this, really wrenching away on it. Really extending that arm. And Skeens in a bad position, but SDC let it go. He's going to try the cover off the armbar, though. Into the cover. Is that going to be enough? It's only a 1. And what a contest this is going to be. SDC has been caught up on Jaden for so long, but it still has that internal goal of becoming the world champion. And as he says, he believes it will be a thing. But the question is, can he make that a thing? If he can beat Jaden, a former 2-time world champion, you definitely got to believe that he is on track to do so. And now tossed over the top rope, where he's hit with a shoulder block to the outside. Well, we talked a bit about SDC in this match, but we can talk about Brad Skeens now. And Brad Skeens, of course, didn't necessarily have the best starts to life here in WIW, missing out on not 1 but 2 WIW Championships opportunities, but really starting to European Championship opportunities, but really starting to pick himself up as of late. And of course, that first stint as European champion really has excelled him and pushed him on, and now trying to find more success and more gold by walking out the winner of the Elimination Chamber. And Skeens trying to set up for this spear, but SDC just kept getting up, and now maybe changing the plan here. What's he thinking instead? Oh! Oh, look at that! The powerbomb cutter to SDC! Hit with his own move, adding insult to injury. Then he's got the job done. Brad Skeens knocks off SDC. And what a win for him. Hits him with his own move. And look at SDC stunned at what just happened. He can't believe that's just happened. Oh, but look who's here. Look who's here. Jaden's here. Jaden is here and SDC daring him to come down to the ring. But Jaden refusing. Look at this. SDC begging him to come down to the ring. And Jaden has just walked off. Well, that's the mind games at work, trying to get into the head of SDC. Big loss for him here tonight. But the question is, when it matters at lockdown, can he get the job done? SDC really needs to bounce back now. But Jaden making his presence known. And all of a sudden, he's back on Monday nights. Let's move on down the rest of the card. Well, we've seen some big contests so far tonight, and we've still got some big ones to go, including a fatal four-way matchup to crown the final participant in the Elimination Chamber match for the WIW Championship. But the next person down to the ring is the Mayhem Women's Champion, who, to be honest, I think most men would fear at this point. She has been so dominant as of late, and of course only getting stronger and stronger as time goes on. Sandra Piper making her eerie way down to the ring. The general manager cleared the air off camera, and has made it clear that it will only be Catherine Albright taking on Sandra Piper inside a steel cage. So it's a steel cage match, which, to be honest, I think is going to favor Catherine Albright, because Catherine's going to have the idea that she could just run, potentially. She could potentially just leave the cage. Remember, you can win the match by escaping the cage, whereas I don't imagine that this woman, with the evilest of looks in her eyes, has any intention of taking a foot off the pedal and not going to go for the elimination. Oh, of the pinfall, excuse me. She's been such a dominant champion, but Catherine Albright has posed a big threat to her title, and she doesn't want to let it slip. But she's up against a tough opponent tonight, someone we haven't seen in a while, but the first woman to take on Sandra Piper for the Mayhem Women's Championship. It is Lulu Torres, who exploded onto the scene in that first Women's Championship Battle Royal. She actually walked out with 3 eliminations in that match. She looked damn impressive, which is why she was the first one to take the shot at Sandra Piper. And of course, Sandra Piper hadn't quite reached her full peak, full potential at that point. And she definitely has now. The Mayhem Women's Champion tonight. She goes once again in with Lulu Torres. And of course, we're running out of women to provide her with right now. She just takes on anybody who steps in the ring with her, and she just dismantles them. And once again wants to send a message to her challenger at the pay-per-view. And she looks to do that tonight through Lulu Torres, who's hit with a snap suplex to start. And Sandra Piper usually comes out gunning here in the start, but she knows it's not going to be as easy here against Lulu Torres, a woman who has matched her for power on several different occasions. Of course, if you remember back to their first encounter, they actually fought very well against each other and proved to be quite an even contest. So don't expect this to be your usual Sandra Piper just comes in, destroys everyone and everything, and walks away. As much as I'm expecting Sandra Piper to find a way to walk out the victor here tonight. But Lulu Torres, as we've seen, can prove a problem. And this is what I'm talking about, trying to match her for power here. Trading fists back and forth, and now getting the edge of her here, and Sandra Piper forced to roll. Sandra Piper forced to roll, and Lulu Torres is proving a problem, and taking a second to breathe here is Sandra Piper. And Sandra Piper, the referee separating the two, making sure that she gets back in the ring, and oh, look at this, Sandra Piper. Oh, look at this, Catherine Albright. Catherine Albright tossing her back in the ring. And Sandra Piper blind spotted there. And now Tiffany. No, Catherine sending her own warning to the champion, but the champion, look at this, just too dominant. She was taking a second to breathe on the outside. Catherine Albright trying to take advantage, trying to give Lulu Torres the edge in this match, but Sandra Piper just fights on as if nothing had even happened. And this must be the most worrying thing for Catherine Albright. Because right now, no one has been able to keep this woman down for more than a count of 2. The closest person to do that was Leia Rose, and she only managed to get the 2 count on that occasion. Everybody else, it's been 1s and 2s. No one's hit 2.5 yet, really. I think the closest was Leia Rose. But Sandra Piper has been so hard to slow down, and she doesn't seem to want to stop just destroying people as of late. Everyone she steps in the ring with, she's destroyed to the point where she's literally made people unconscious from the power that she has displayed. And Sandra Piper looking a little shaky now. Lulu Torres, oh, look at that. Playing the mind games there, calling her a loser, making the L with her finger and thumb, but made to pay. You don't want to insult this woman because she will make you pay for it. And now Irish whip by Sandra Piper spins her around. As her trapped in the corner, decides to Irish whip to the other corner. Oh, and a big knee. Right to the gut. Just picks her up. Spins her around with the power of that punch. She's such a powerful woman. So dominant. Could you imagine this type of power and force? Could you imagine what she'd be like against a man, though? That would be very interesting. I'd love to see what she could do against the best that the men's division have to offer. But she is by far the best that the women have to offer. And there's that headbutt barrage from the Mayhem Women's Champion. But I told you, Lulu Torres isn't going to be an easy task. She's going to fight back with all her might. And look at this, the mind game still trying to taunt the Women's Champion. But look at this, made it a pay with a big wrestling takedown. Sandra Piper might be looking to try and wrap this up at some point. Maybe looking for the end. But right now, Lulu Torres really trying to provide a fight back here. And of course, we've seen her push the champion to her absolute limits before. Hasn't walked out with the win as of yet, but she's come damn close. And tonight she's just trying to survive here because Sandra has built a head of steam. Tilt-a-whirl slam. And straight into the cover, just away from the ropes. And Lulu Torres is knocked off. Sandra Piper, even blindsided by Catherine Albright, manages to get the job done. Once again, Sandra Piper just asserts her dominance. The headbutt barrage and the tilt-a-whirl slam, getting the job done. And once again, Sandra Piper sends the message loud and clear to Catherine Albright. And locked in a steel cage with this woman, that could be very, very dangerous. I'll tell you what, I would not want to be her being locked in the cage with this woman. But like I said, surely Catherine's going to come prepared with a plan. She's been our toughest adversary till now, but can she prove herself when these two are locked in the cage at lockdown? We'll find out soon enough, but it's time to move on down the rest of the card. Main event then, and it is a fatal 4-way to determine the final spot in the Elimination Chamber. And this is going to be a big one. It's only one fall to the finish, but so far, to clarify who's in the chamber, of course, we have the WIW champion himself, Aaron Albright, who will be defending against original Brad Skeens, Stephen Miller, and the All-Heart, Alan Hart. And tonight, we will find the 6th and final man entering that match. And then on the next Mayhem, we will be determining the order in a 6-man Battle Royal to determine the order of the entries into that chamber match. First man down to the ring is Thomas, who we haven't seen in quite some time. One of the most powerful strikers in the business, has the power to wrap up a match with a single strike, as we've seen in the past. And the reason that the general manager has put him in this match is because back in the trial era, he walked into the Elimination Chamber as the champion and walked out with the title intact. He was a part of the first Elimination Chamber in the trial era, but now when the first one is recorded in WIW's history, will he be able to do the same? Will he be able to walk out with the win and keep the momentum? But first he has to qualify against some fast-growing opponents, some that you might not expect to see in this match, but for others you definitely should expect to see competing at this level. And the next man down to the ring is Thomas Stairs Down, who makes his way down to the ring. Thomas, a tough competitor, and has proven it in the past, but tonight he's got some tough tasks ahead of him, and it's not going to be a walk in the park as he might initially believe. And down to the ring now becomes Robert Hall. Robert Hall has grown exponentially as of late. After being embarrassed by SDC on his debut, in 9 seconds, Robert Hall has shot to the top of the ranks as of late. 3 massive victories in a row, all by the way of submission. And of course, we know that he can push further, and the general manager wants to see how far he can push. This match is probably more of a wild card match than anything. But the general manager trying to show what he can do, showing the full extent of his roster, giving everyone the opportunity to show themselves and progress. And Robert Hall getting the biggest chance that he will get to get this push. The next man down to the ring is back up on his feet after being attacked just 2 weeks ago by Jake Griffiths, the Cruiserweight Champion. It is Estrella Chico, a very big fan favorite, a very popular superstar, a tough competitor to take on. Estrella Chico, the star boy, trying to prove his worth here in WIW. Show he is the dominant one. He is a star that his name suggests him to be. And now looking for his first shot at the WIW Championship. Usually been lingering around the European Championship ranks. Hasn't had a shot at the Cruiserweight title yet either. But there's a lot of eligibility for everything in this man's case. But the question is, can tonight he get the job done and progress to what will be a very intense Elimination Chamber match? Well, with those 3 down to the ring, there's only one man to bring down left, and it is Lachlan, one half of the team known as Justice. And this man, as of late, has also really had a big rise to the top. But then again, he started at the top, Lachlan. He made a big name for himself by taking out everybody in the locker room, and he's in bounty hunting ever since. But Mason Foster slowed down his role as he was knocked out in the first ever Fatality matchup. But since then, he's partnered with AD Nathaniel. They've become a successful team, winning the Mayhem Tag Team Tournament. Unfortunately, couldn't capture the titles on that occasion and haven't had a second chance at the title, but I'm sure they will be gunning for that tag title. But tonight, he'll be hoping to stamp his brand of justice on the Elimination Chamber if he can get into it. Remember, this is 1 fall to a finish. It's not Falls Count anywhere, but it is no disqualification. So this should be one hell of a main event to wrap up tonight's show. And 4 people we don't usually see in the main event, kicking us off here, tonight's main event. And Robert Hall, what a huge jump this is for him. A few weeks ago, was hardly on the card, trying to find his way, trying to find its footing. But he's now found his calling, a little bit of a submission expert, starting to use that submissions. And as we know, a few people in the chamber are actually quite vulnerable to submissions. We've seen Aaron Albright lose 2 title reigns on submission. We've seen Original Brad losing his world title on submission. A lot of potential there is for that submission victory to be done, and that's exactly why Robert Hall has been given this opportunity. The general manager believing that submission power could be the difference maker for Robert Hall and could pull off a surprise upset elimination here if he could pick up the win. And maybe, could you imagine, after only 3 wins in his career, Robert Hall becoming the WIW champion? What a surprise that would be to everyone. As for Estrella Chico, has been lingering around the mid-card picture for a while now. Had probably one of Jace's hardest matchups when they faced him for the European Championship. But Jace was able to get the better of him on that occasion. Chico's trying to roll him up here, and he's only going to get the 1. And, yeah, so Estrella Chico, he's been lingering around that title picture, and we figured he might be going for the Cruiserweight Championship at some point. But Estrella Chico has his eyes set on the big prize, and that is the World Championship. And tonight he's trying to gun his way back into it, as like he's managed to gun his way into the heart of the fans. The crowd absolutely love the star boy. He's a big fan favorite, your typical luchador, but he's hoping to take that luchador spirit to the chamber. Lachlan, another man who not many people would have expected to see in this match, but has been put in this match as a wild card entry potentially, because we've seen the potential in him before. We've seen him take on the best of the best. We've seen him take on the likes of Stephen Miller, Mason Foster. We've seen him take them all on and try to knock them all down, and he's been successful in the past. He just hasn't quite had the success that he would have liked, or as much success as he probably would have liked. And now, tonight, a big opportunity to push for the WIW Championship with his partner, of course, be watching on, AD Nathaniel. Of course, I'm sure would have loved this opportunity himself, but we know he's very supportive of his tag team partner, and these two have worked together to stamp their brand of justice on WIW. And if one of them was to walk out as a world champion or even a European champion, they could definitely be starting to stamp that message across, and that's what he's doing here. He's representing justice here tonight in this match. And of course, Thomas, as I already mentioned, was part of the first Elimination Chamber match back in WYW in the trial era. And of course, walked out the champion on that occasion. He walked into the chamber as the champion because of the cash-in that he had had just a couple of months prior to it. And so he knows what it takes to win the Elimination Chamber. Of course, this is the first time in history that it counts. And of course, Thomas was also a part of the first Money in the Bank match, which he won in the trial era, but lost in this history. So, and he needs to prove himself. When WIW history calls, can he answer it and rise to the occasion and get himself in to the Elimination Chamber? Well, a pretty well-contested match here so far. Everybody really giving it their all. Robert Hall trying to steal the cover here on Thomas, and he only gets a 2. And Estrella Chico tossed to the outside by Lachlan, and we know Lachlan and AD Nathaniel prefer to do their beatdowns on the outside, use their environment to their advantage. We know they're a physical team like that. Robert Hall now. Look at this with an aeroplane spin. Just a slow one there. As he connects with a TKO. And Thomas, a very tough striker to beat, very similar to Oliver Regem. But except, I guess he was the first. But he's the difference between him and Regem. Regem's a good striker, is a quick striker. But he is definitely a powerful striker. But now he's in trouble. Look at this. Hell's Gate. Hell's Gate's applied. Hell's Gate's applied. Is Robert Hall going to get the opportunity to go to the chamber? No one has broken out of it yet. Thomas trying his best. Oh, wait a minute. What's Thomas doing? Oh, my God. Look at the face of Robert Hall as the grip is broken from a powerbomb out of the Hell's Gate. And Robert Hall can't believe his eyes. Thomas is the first person to kick out the Hell's Gate. And that's not what he wants. It's not what he needs. Look at that. Oh, and there's the gut buster. And Estrella Chico right now has the upper hand on Lachlan on the outside. But he's going to take him into the ring now. And it looks like Robert Hall is going to exit. But no, Thomas refusing to let him. Thomas, a true veteran here in WIW, has been here since nearly the beginning, back in the WYW days. And that'll tell you how long it's been. Into the cover. Estrella Chico to try and steal it. It's a 2 count. And look at the powerbomb there as well from Robert Hall, who's going to try and steal the cover now on Thomas. It's a 2 count, and right now Thomas has control. Thomas has lost control completely of the matchup. And now Lachlan, Irish whip to the outside. Oh, Estrella Chico tried to take him back to the outside, couldn't connect. Big dodge there by Thomas, who now takes him up to the top rope. Oh, Thomas is going big here. Robert Hall in serious trouble. Chico's is knocked out in the ring by Lachlan, who waited for them to leave before trying to score the cover. Outside superplex. Has Lachlan stole it? No, he hasn't. It's a 2 count. Thomas couldn't get back in the ring in time, but it didn't matter. Chico found the heart to kick out. Robert Hall down on the outside from the massive superplex. And now Thomas trying to deal with Estrella Chico inside the ring. And inside the ring's going to be surely where you want to be, because you can only get the cover inside the ring. This is not Fool's Count anywhere. Oh, and now look at Lachlan using the LED board there to do further damage to Robert Hall. But now Estrella Chico trying to put away Thomas. Look at this. Looking for something big here. Can he connect? Oh, no. Lachlan cut him off. Lachlan cuts him off. And the big suplex is hit to Estrella Chico. And now Lachlan into the cover, trying to progress to the Elimination Chamber. Oh, nearly got it, 2.5. And the Gutbuster sends Thomas outside the ring. Robert Hall's going to try and steal the cover on Chico now, and he get a 2. And now looking to fly to the middle rope. Oh, what a low blow there. And he lands on top of Estrella Chico, but not with any momentum. Toss to the outside here. Oh no, just toss straight back in. And he rolls out of harm's way. And now Lachlan left alone with Estrella Chico. This could be the opening he needs. Oh no, he's unable to capitalize. Well caught there by Estrella Chico. And Chico with a neck breaker. Thomas trying to fight his way back to his feet because he sees the opening might be there for Estrella Chico into the cover of the Pele kick. And Thomas saw it coming and quickly charges back in the ring to stop the cover from occurring. Oh, and now look at this. Robert Hall has Thomas up on the shoulders here, trying to toss him over the top, but Thomas proving a tough fight, and he keeps fighting his way out and hits with the elbows, and we know the power of his elbows. And now look at this. Oh, and there's a shin to the jaw of Robert Hall. And Robert Hall now in trouble. This is the first time in this match where he's actually been under pressure by Thomas. He's been in control of him to this point. But as we've seen in the past, he has the ability to wrap this match up with a single punch. We've seen him do it before, and I'm sure he'll be more than happy to try and do it again. And now look at this, a little bit of flair here from Robert Hall, who I'm sure if he can lock in one more Hell's Gate, that could be the answer. He's going for another submission here, though, and he's using the ropes to hook him. And Thomas might be in trouble here. A unique submission hold applied by Robert Hall. Lachlan just waiting to see how this progresses. Clearly was confident that Thomas would be able to connect and get out. And Thomas was lining up there for a knockout punch. Couldn't connect with it. Oh, look at that big knee to Thomas. And now, oh, and a beautiful move there as well by Lachlan. Or Lachlan. Oh, hit with a suplex. Hit with the German suplex. Estrella Chico didn't notice Robert Hall going for it. Oh, it's only a 2. Lachlan finds a way out. But now Chico trying to take advantage of the man down in the ring. Look at this. There's the curb stomp. Oh, and a gut buster as well. Lachlan's down. Thomas is down. Chico going to try and score the cover. But Robert Hall's there to break it up. And these 4 men giving it their all, putting on a show as well. Look at there's an elbow from Estrella Chico from the middle rope. This has been one hell of a main event so far, and everyone backstage is watching to see who the 6th man into the chamber is going to be. And look at this. Lachlan lined up there with Thomas in the corner. And now Chico in trouble as well. Look at this. Oh, I thought he was going to be a 3rd man crashed into that corner, but Robert Hall takes him out to the outside. And Lachlan and Thomas dazed inside the ring, set up on that corner. Oh, and went for a code breaker there, couldn't connect. And it was sidestepped by Chico, but he was hit anyway. And Thomas finally regaining some life in this match. Tried to capitalize on Lachlan. Lachlan went for the super kick, couldn't connect. And now Thomas trying to strike with the knee, and he does. Thomas has Lachlan down in the ring. Can he capitalize on the space that he has? Oh, an Irish whip to the stairs there from Robert Hall on Estrella Chico. And Thomas has Lachlan in the ring. Can he capitalize? Oh, try to spin him around. That could have been dangerous if he'd have got him into the electric chair position. Lachlan sidesteps. And now what can Lachlan bring to the table here? Once again, to the corner. Oh, looking for that stunner. And connects. And now Lachlan and Thomas continue to battle while, meanwhile, Chico dealing with Robert Hall on the on the outside of the ring, excuse me. And now look at this, a submission hold applied in the ring. Chico a little worried about it as Lachlan didn't let go straight away. And he drop kicks the referee to keep the match alive. I think he was aiming for them, but the referee standing in the way. And Thomas taken down now. Oh, and Chico now left alone in the ring with Lachlan. And Lachlan just taking a breather. Meanwhile, Robert Hall with the DDT. Just trying to work away on him here. Just trying to figure out what to do. The referee is down. So no cover is going to occur for the moment. But now Robert Hall trying to do something here. Oh, but look at this. Lachlan. Big combination. There's the knee. The knee across the jaw. And Lachlan's got Robert Hall in a good position. Oh, but Chico stopping the momentum. Oh, trying to set up for the curb stomp. Wasn't allowed to do so. And now Thomas. Oh, Thomas trying to strike big here. Everybody's down. And it could be it. Thomas trying to steal the entry. rope break prevents the cover, but now into the Boston Crab, and he moves him away from the ropes. Thomas trying to score the win on Chico, but Chico wasn't tapping, and he let go to hold. Now Robert Hall back to his feet. Aeroplane spin again, looking for that TKO out of it. There's the cutter to connect with the TKO. And now, look at this, Lachlan trying to steal the cover. Robert Hall hasn't noticed. He hasn't turned around to see that the cover has occurred. Lachlan to steal the match to 2. I think Robert Hall might have broke it there, but it didn't matter because Chico kicked out. Oh, and looking at that, went for a double forearm. Couldn't connect, and now Robert Hall, oh, it tosses Thomas to the outside. And now Lachlan trying to deal with Chico. Well connected there. Went for the suplex, but well dodged indeed. Oh, but now got taunting, and that's not what you want to do. Oh, big takedown there by the Starboy. Now taking the time to taunt, or taking a second to breathe. I can't tell the difference between the two at this point. But now, what's Robert Hall doing? Robert Hall lifting up the WYW champion, the former WYW champion in the trial era. Oh, look at this, 630 senton, 630 senton. 2 men are down. Only one of them are really going to be able to get the cover as the other one trying to get the cover on the other. And now Robert Hall going big here. Looking for the gutbuster. Connects with the gutbuster. Robert Hall has everyone down. Is it going to be enough now to steal the win on Estrella? Chico, he's done it. Robert Hall with his 5th victory in a row. Connects with the gutbuster, and he's going to the chamber. Unbelievable scenes. Robert Hall rising to the top of the rankings, and he's managed to steal the win with the cover on Thomas. And Robert Hall has progressed to the Elimination Chamber. He is the last man to fight at Lockdown. Well, I tell you what, no one, and I repeat, no one saw this coming, but Robert Hall has himself a WYW Championship opportunity to end tonight's show. What a big win for him. And all of a sudden, this rise to the top for Robert Hall really is looking impressive, but can he carry that momentum into the chamber and capture the WYW Championship? That is going to wrap up tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like if you did. Comment your thoughts and feelings on tonight's show. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.